Alrighty, guys, welcome into the podcast. This week we have the creative director for 1213, Mr. Andy Lobos. Andy, welcome to the podcast.
What's good, bro? How's everybody doing today? Hope everyone's doing well, doing good,
Awesome.
staying blessed, all that.
Let's go. So, Andy, you're based in Los Angeles, California, correct?
Yes, sir. LA, born and raised.
Awesome. So you are the creative director for 1213, and check, please.
Yes, sir. Both those.
Awesome. You wear a lot of hats. So kind of just tell us maybe about yourself, how you got into the fashion industry, and maybe just a little bit more on that.
So basically, I think in a previous YouTube video I kind of touched on this, but it was kind of just on like I always kind of been into clothes a little bit, like how I like to wear stuff and how I like things to fit. And then I think it was really like in high school when I kind of started experimenting with like, you know, wearing like whatever skinny jeans or wearing like oversized shirts and stuff like that. And it was until like that when I was like, all right, cool. Like, all right, fashion's a thing, like clothes is a thing. And then I kind of started getting into like Supreme a little bit just because of someone older than me. I think I was probably like in 9th grade. So, and then from there I was like, oh, like streetwear is a thing. And like, I knew like the supply and demand for Supreme. And I was like, all right, cool. So I started getting into that. And then I think like since I got into that realm, like a lot of those people were like, that's when Jerry started like coming up. Like, I think he was on his second collection of like Fear of Gods. Then I started getting into that, like completely like soon after getting into fashion and Supreme and all that. And then from there, I was like, dang, like what he's doing is like pretty crazy. Like, obviously it was like the slit stuff, the zippers, and then like it was the Yeezus era and all that. So I was kind of like, I think that was its like own thing where it like kind of birthed a lot of people to like really take fashion seriously. And then that was me, like I was like listening to Yeezus, and then like Travis Scott was coming out. So I was just like, dang, like I kind of like went in at a spot where it was like really crazy, like where it was just so much like different stuff coming in. Like obviously people who know like the Yeezus album is like sonically is just a crazy album.
Yeah.
So then from there, that's when I really started getting into fashion. And then I think it was like maybe like a year into it when I was really like, all right, cool. Like it's not just like t-shirts and stuff. It's actual like design and, you know, getting collections done. Jerry had a pop-up at H. Lorenzo in like Beverly Hills. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to pull up and I'm going to see if he's there or whatever. Like just to see, like, I want to see the stuff in person. And then he was there just like chilling by himself. And like, that's when I was like, dang, like, because when I remember when I went, there was like nobody there. Like, I think he was kind of coming up. So no one really knew about him. So like when I went, he was just like dolo by himself, just like on his phone. And then I pulled up, like gets up and he's like, yo, what's up? Blah, blah, blah. And then immediately I was like, you know what? Like now's the time to like just answer, like ask questions. So I was just asking him questions. Like, I think this was like in 2014 or like 2016, something like that.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, like, what makes you make this design? Like, what makes things with fear of God? Like, what separates you from this person? You know, what makes you want to do a brand? Like, just answered him the fundamentals of like creating a brand. Cause I was like, maybe I want to do this one day. Yeah. And then he kind of just like since it was just me and him, he was kind of just like, yeah, bro, like, you know, he went super in depth, which is to make a long story short, like everything had a storyline behind it. And he was just like, if you're going to do a brand, you have to like stick by it and not just do it because everyone else is doing it. Like you have to have something, somewhat of a story to tell the people that is not already out there. And then like, that's what he did. So like, I remember even from there, like I was like, I left and I was just like so hyped and I was like, damn dude, like that's so crazy. Then obviously from there he blew up. So I would say like 2014, maybe 2015, that's when I really was like, all right, like I'm gonna start getting into this fashion stuff.
Yeah, that's crazy. Thanks for sharing, bro. I mean, there's so many brands too. You touched on Supreme, like supply and demand with how it is now. It's so hard to get access to, whether it be from the sneaker side of things to the actual streetwear itself. But who would you say like inspires you from a creative standpoint? Obviously, Jerry, you touched on that. But who would you say is like the most pivotal influence in your life?
I think as of like, I literally told my girl like just today, I was like, I feel like it would like predominantly be like Rhuigi, because I remember when I first started, like when I was like, all right, I'm in the fashion game, like I'm printing stuff, like doing stuff. Um, I interned for him, I think like almost 3 years ago.
Oh
Like I
wow.
interned for Rhude, and then that's when I really just got like right when I had like my interview, like it was just like the first thing they said, they were like, so we need people that are willing to learn, and like off rip, we're gonna throw you straight into the fire. So
Oh wow.
you're just gonna learn everything right off rip. So I was kind of like, that's when I really like got immersed into the fashion game and like what it takes to be in it. And I think from there, like just seeing how obviously he's like an immigrant and like he came over here, but just
Yeah.
seeing how he like creates and how he comes up with stuff. I think with being with him, like I was with interning for him for almost a year, and I think just being there, I kind of like I got influenced a lot of way like the way I create and the way I do stuff and the way I come up with things just from seeing him like come up with things. Like I remember I used to be like so baffled, like every day he would like have something new. Like it was always like there was never a day where it's just like, all right, bro, we're just chilling today. Like everything's caught up. It was always something. Like you got to go to the wash house. You got to go pick up from the printer. You got to go pick it from the cut and sew. You got to go pick it from the wash. Like everything there was something like something to do. And I was just like,
Dang.
I guess just being there and like getting so much like insight and so much like creativity. That's what really like that's someone who like really influenced me to like I guess just create and do it on my own. Like, cause just seeing him do it like every day, it was like innovating every day. Like, I like obviously, I remember when he was like, oh, like Vans didn't. I guess Vans didn't like get the like he didn't get the deal that he wanted. So he's like, all
Yeah.
right, well, I'm gonna make my own Vans, and he put like the metal thing on the front of the shoe. And I
Yep.
remember watching that, and I was like, yo, this dude is crazy. Like, it's crazy because it's like innovative. And then
Right.
you know, like a few months later, he got the Vans deal. And then I
Right.
remember I was driving him and we were getting fabric, and then he was like, "Yo, I'm about to get this Puma deal. I don't know if I should do it though, like because I want to get the Nike deal." And I was just like, "Bro,
Crazy.
honestly, like I remember I was like, you just gotta like do that one thing, even if because you never know, like you might pass on Puma thinking you're gonna get Nike, but then
That's
you would have never like seen what you can do at Puma. And then
right.
maybe that Puma deal will elevate you to for Nike to be like, yo, this dude's actually doing something. So it's just crazy seeing him now, like because I remember him talking about getting Vans deal, the Puma deal, working with the
Yeah.
week, working with Future, and I was just like, that's what really influenced me to be like, dang, dude, like you just kind of got to keep creating and keep the ball rolling, like even
For
if you
sure.
feel like some things won't go your way at first, like it'll all come full circle. So definitely
Yeah.
Reed is a big influence on me.
That's dope. Thanks for sharing. So like a lot of trial and error from a design standpoint. So what would you say, obviously that they threw you right into the fire. How long would you say it takes for you personally maybe to come up with like a design, get the textiles for it, all of that? Obviously there's a lot that goes into it that maybe people don't understand.
Yeah.
But how long would you say it takes to for you to come up with the design and like the creative process and then eventually have it to come in for an actual drop itself?
Um, I think before, like when I was first getting like my feet wet and just kind of like getting people, it was I don't know, like I feel like for me it's pretty I guess like because it just comes to me like as I go. Like
Yeah.
I usually just like I have the idea in my head, like this one. This is like kind of unreleased, but with this
Yeah.
hat, I remember obviously I like the Magic logo, and my homie has like a vintage like Orlando Magic's hat, and then I was just
Fire.
looking at it and I was like, damn, bro, that'd be crazy. And then I remember just thinking about it, like, okay, but I was like, I gotta find the font, I gotta find this, I gotta find that, and then
Right.
one day I was just like, I'm just gonna do it. So I would say this one, like specifically, once
Hard,
I
bro.
finally was like, I'm gonna do it, probably like maybe like an hour to really like get the font right, like because it was super spaced out. So it's just like I know right now it just looks nice, clean, and simple, but it was literally
Yeah.
just getting everything like together. Like the font I used, when you type it out, it's like super spaced out. So I had to type everything individually, move it together, like size it correctly. And then from there, like once I get the design down correctly, then I'm like, all right, I gotta get the colors right. Then I do like colors. Then I get a mock up and I mock it up. And then usually from there, like once I get the mock up like down correctly, I send it to my embroidery guy, and then the next day I have it done. So it's like, and then from there, like I think before, like I'm still doing it now. Like whenever I kind of come up with stuff, because I just have so much stuff in the vault that I'm just like, you know
Right.
what, dude, like, I'm just gonna drop it. I'm
Yeah.
just gonna drop stuff like every week if I can. Because I always like another big influence to me is like Gary Vee, where he's like he talks with artists and like rappers or like with everybody,
Yeah.
and it's like, yo, like I need that one song, I need that one hit, like, and a lot of people would say like all you need is one hit to blow up, and
Right.
there's a lot of like artists out there. Like when I watch interviews, they're like, we're always in the studio trying to get that one hit, and we're trying, and that's why they're like, that's why we don't drop anything because we
Yeah.
want the right one. And then I remember Gary Vee was like, yeah, but the amount of work that you put out, that's gonna help you get to the next one. So that's why
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what, like instead of doing like a whole big drop, I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna keep dropping every week because like every day there's gonna be a new customer, a new customer, a new customer, and it's like I rather there be stuff on the website than it always be sold out. Like there's nothing there because like I
100%.
want new customers to always get like something new, but then past customers have like the old stuff that's like unobtainable. Like you know,
Yeah.
oh, but like you got that, but you don't have this. So it's always something like that. So I guess just with designing, it's just it's just literally whatever comes to my head, and I usually drop it like the week of or the week after or like the day after. Like I'm pretty quick with it, but I think with this next collection that I'm dropping, I really took my time with it, and I'm like making sure that the visuals are right, the design is right, you know, the colors match, and like um I'm gonna be dropping that next week, but like this whole week coming up, I'm just gonna be putting out all the visuals so people can like kind of soak it in, and so it's just like, oh damn, like this is gonna be something like it's definitely gonna be one for the books. I can say that.
Yeah, that's dope. So you've been around, 1213's been around since 2019, correct?
17.
2017. Wow. Okay. So you've obviously grown. Like, I think I found you in 2019. I think that's why I said that. But I think initially when I found 1213, which it was through Charles Metcalf, who I
Yeah, yeah,
see he was rocking your stuff. And
yeah.
so I clicked on it. I saw the cold blooded drop and I was like, I have to have this. Like, next drop that happens, cop the hoodie. But how have you been able, you've grown a lot since then. I think you had like 3,500 followers when I saw you in 2019. Now you have 8,000, like 8,500.
Yeah.
And so how have you been able to sort of market yourself or set yourself apart from the competition?
I would just say because um I just like always feel like my story, like the stuff that I come up with, like it's not like I would say like it's just like my life, like stuff that I grew up on, whether it's like being around like kind of like bad influences, but learning from it, and then being around like, you know, my mom has always been a Christian, so it
Okay.
was like just being around that, like even though my mom knows like, okay, you know, in this world, like everywhere there's bad everywhere. Like you can live in a good neighborhood and bad can happen. So it was just always like that. Like even though there's a lot of, you know, negative around you or whatever bad things around you, as long as you're like well put together and you're good with God, like you're gonna be okay. Like
Yeah,
you know, you're gonna get through it. God's gonna forgive you. God's gonna like make
that's
sure you're
good.
okay. But it was also like on some that influence is what everybody wants now. Like what how
Wow.
everybody wants to dress. Like it's cool now. And that's just how I kind of grew up. Like I grew up around, you know, like I remember seeing all like you know, my elders basically like they would wear like fresh snapbacks and then like crisp white tees, crisp like Dickies and stuff. But to me, I was always like, damn, like they always had a fresh fade, and I was just like, damn, like that's so sick. So now that I'm like kind of like it, like going back to Jerry, where he was like, you gotta have a story, and you gotta why should people care about it?
Yeah.
So for me, I'm just like, what did I always want growing up? What do I need? Like, what is something that's missing
So
in my wardrobe? What's something that I don't look at? And you know, so it's just like when I saw them wearing the fresh hats, I'm like, I want a hat that everybody can wear, or like the white tee. That's what I do. I feel like I always do a lot of white tees because I feel like you can just you can just kind of, is year round. Like when I'm wearing
Yeah,
a hoodie, I can have it poke out. When it's
100%.
time, it's perfect to put a white tee on. And then
Right.
like now I'm gonna be dropping these khaki pants, and I kind of just tailored it to like cargos with snaps. So it's like the same vibe of how I grew up, but I'm just tailoring it to how I would like for it to fit. So like,
Cool.
thank God, a lot of people like it, and a lot of people like want to gravitate towards it. And like, I'm doing something right if I've like, every time it's like something new, and people are like, damn, dude, like sometimes I like when I'm gonna make this, I'm like, damn, I don't even know what I'm gonna do next. And then like tomorrow I'll probably think of like something crazier like that I'm gonna come up with like for the summertime. So I would just say it's just like the influence of like my own life. Like I'm not faking it. Like I'm not like on a mood board, or I'm not like looking up stuff like, oh, let's do that, or let's do this. Like it's literally just stuff that I like, and it just happens to so like that people like the stuff that I'm putting out, and like I don't gotta fake it. I don't gotta try too hard. I just gotta be.
100%. That's
like
dope.
That.
Super, like you just maintain that authenticity the whole time, so people are going to be more prone to vibing with you. So you obviously touched on a lot of the different people that you've drawn influence from, but maybe what's like one brand? Would you ever collaborate with another brand? I see like the influence with like the Lakers obviously winning the championship for basketball, the Dodgers winning the World Series. But what is there maybe a particular company that you or brand that you'd like to collaborate with in the future?
Um, I feel like just a lot of people like, because I think right now, I guess the fact that like the market is so like oversaturated with like so many brands.
Right.
So I would say the fact that there is so many brands, it's kind of easier for me to like pinpoint like, okay, I really like this guy, I really like this guy, I really like this dude. Or so I would say, I don't know if you probably heard of it. His name is San Juan
Yeah.
with the double LA.
Yep.
What's crazy about that is that the person who does my embroidery does his embroidery.
Oh,
And I
wow.
remember like pulling up, and I was just like, yo, I was like, is this? I was like, you know who this is? And he's like, oh, I don't know. It's just some new guy that I got. And then I was just like, oh, I was like, this is like, I was like, this is San Juan. Like, he's a really like, I really like what he's doing with like the LA stuff. So definitely I want to collaborate with him, because just seeing what he does, like even though it's just hats and like sometimes he does like other stuff, it's so like authentic and genuine. Like he's not trying to like fake anything, and it's just I feel like it's a lot of his personal life. Like he's not trying to like gravitate to like different. So definitely with him, I'd probably want to collaborate with. I know I have like a few things in the works already. It's just a matter of just kind of just like getting the other person on board. So I know definitely, hopefully down the line, I might or may or might not have like a round 2 collab coming out with like 12-13 and round 2. And like I already like the mock-ups are already done, the designs are done. So but it's just a matter of just like finding out the dates and like getting everybody on board, because I know it's like, especially since they're such like a big brand and like a big like name, it's like a little bit harder to like get everything on board rather than doing with smaller brands. But yeah, so definitely them. And then probably like I don't know if you heard a brand called Homegrown.
Yep.
Yeah, so that's my boy Clyde. I've been helping him out with like a lot of stuff, and just like same thing with him. Like just seeing the way like he works. Like I run his production for his hats and like some of his t-shirts, and he's all the way in San Francisco. But just seeing that like he's doing stuff on his own as well. Like he's not just relying on me to run everything. That's like just makes me be like, all right, bro. Like we can like hopefully down the line we can definitely like work on something that we can give you guys. That's like, I don't know, just I feel like because we're both like kind of like, obviously he's an SF doing his thing, but I'm here doing my thing. So I feel like we can definitely like merge the two on like work ethic. So definitely those 3 brands, San Juan, Homegrown, and then hopefully round 2 sometime soon. But definitely those brands that I probably want to collaborate with.
Yeah, his stuff is crazy good quality as well. I got the LA trucker hat.
Yeah.
Bro, crazy quality.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's like another thing too, like Supreme, it's the nostalgic, like the name of Supreme obviously been around like forever, but it's like you want something that's quality. Like this shirt is been around since 2019, but bro, the quality is like it's there. Like that wash tee is like it's a nostalgic feeling anytime you put it on. But what's like the best piece of advice maybe you'd give someone that's a designer and maybe wants to make that leap and start their own business?
Yeah. I mean, I would say it's like as like simple as it sounds, it's literally just do it. Like, because I think that's the hardest thing of it is literally doing it. Because I remember like I mean, I don't know who's gonna watch this, but like I remember me like when I first started, it's like, oh, you're doing a brand, okay, cool. Like, so is everybody else. So is your cousin, so is this person, so is that person. But it was just like you kind of just gotta believe in your own like work and your own dreams. And like as I know it's super corny to say, but it's like that's literally all it is. Like I remember like now, as of right now, everybody was interning. Like everybody wants to intern for Rhuigi. Like someone wants to, oh, yo, how'd you get the Rhude? Like, but I'm just like, it's a lot of work. It's a lot of hustle. It's a lot of being alone. It's a lot of just like willing to learn and like not want anything in return. Like I remember my first drop, like the first one I put out, I got like one order. And then I was just like, all right, bro, like I was hyped. I was like, damn, bro, this is crazy. Like the fact that someone randomly wants to buy something that I created was just like such a big deal to me.
Yeah.
So I would just say if you're out there and you want to create your own brand, you have to like same thing Jerry told me, you got to figure out what's your story and why should people care about it. And even if people don't care about it, you got to make them feel like, yo, like you're gonna care about this, like whether it's now or years from now. Like, you know, it's just like you gotta believe in it and you gotta be willing to like literally hustle your face off. Because like when I was interning for Rhude, like I was still going to college, you know, I was still working my 9 to 5, like I was working at H&M, like, and then I would still come home and then work on my own brand. Like, and it was just like so much stuff like that I was just willing to put in the work. And even though it wasn't really working out, like my brand wasn't really doing well, like I wasn't doing good in school, but it was just like I was following my dreams every day. So that's what made me be like, yo, like I love this, like this is what I want to do. And then even taking the leap of like leaving the internship, which so much people like would be like I, you know, we met Future, we met DJ Mustard, we met like so many artists, like being there, like that was a connection. But I was just like, you know what? I want to have like my own name. I want to have my own thing. Like this is him. Like this is his brand. This is not mine. So that's why I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take the leap. And obviously it was hard because like, you know, I went from having all those resources to have no resources. But it was just like I learned so much. I learned the process, try on error. Because I've seen some of the stuff that he would do, and it wouldn't come out right. He put money in stuff, the washes wouldn't come out right. The fit wouldn't come out right. So it was just like learning. You got to just be willing to learn, to fail, and to like use it as a source of like, you know, it's not always going to be fine. Like you got to be willing to just hustle your face off, like literally. And then, because a lot of people can't do that. Like, you know, like everyone, like obviously people in my family, they all work like, you know, corporate jobs or like kind of like, you know, in corporations. And I wouldn't be able to do that. Like I wouldn't be able to stock shelves. I wouldn't be able to, you know, or like fold t-shirts. Like I just can't, but I can, but they can't stand in front of a computer for 1 hour creating a design. Like they rather stock a shelf. And so it's like, it's just like different hustles, but like definitely you gotta just be willing to be patient and like just be willing to like learn and being humble, like, because it's not always gonna be something that's gonna work all the time. You know, you just gotta be willing to learn and you just gotta be patient.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you've been around like some of the brightest minds like in the fashion industry as well. So you just provided some great insight as far as advice to the next generation, but maybe what's the best piece of advice that you've received maybe from someone else that's been in your corner?
I think the best piece of advice, like you said, like my mom, like obviously she, like no matter what, like I'll be like, yo, like when I had the pop-up shop, like I was just super like blown away at the amount of people that came, because I remember I was super nervous. I was just like, I had the pop-up shop and I was like, man, I don't know if anybody's gonna come. Like and I put so much money into it, like with
Yeah.
like, you know, creating like whole, I basically found out, like locked in the pop-up shop in a month, and then I had to figure out like all the design work inside. I had to figure out new designs. I had to run the production like all in within a month span. And it was like a full collection, like rugs, socks, hats, like whole piece in like a month. Like, and I remember through all that, I was just like soup. I remember that day I fell asleep for like 2 hours. And then when I got there, it was just like I was not tired. I was just up. Cause just seeing all the people come and like just willing to wait in line for something that's mine, like it was just like super humbling to me, like being
Yeah.
like it made it all worth it. And I remember through all that, my mom was just like, be humble, remain humble,
Wow.
like no matter what, you know, like
Good.
I would say like that little word can just like blow up in like a crazy way, because it
Yeah.
was like just be humble. Like even though you spent hours on a design, you spent months on a sample, like don't expect it to like just drop and then everyone's gonna want it. Like just be humble. Like
Yeah.
I like, because there's been so many times I put in the work. I've worked for free. I've worked months on samples, like hours on designs, and then I'm kind of just like, yo, if even one person buys it, like I'm gonna be happy. Or even the fact that I'm able to like wake up and, you know, be able to live the life that I'm living, like that's already a lot. Like so I
Yeah.
would just say is just literally just be humble in every aspect, in like humble towards yourself and humble towards others. Even when someone's being negative, just be like, you know what, like
It's
it's gonna
good.
be okay. Like they're not being negative because they don't like you. It's probably just something that's going on with them. So just
For
remain
sure.
humble, because like you just never know like how life's gonna, you know, take its action. And definitely a lot of stuff has come full circle with me, like from being humble and interning for free, and
Yeah.
you know, going in dirt, going in the trenches, staying in the mud, like doing what I have to do, still
Facts.
being humble, going to class, sitting in an hour class, learning about thread by thread by thread, like being humble, working my job 9 to 5 to fund my brand. Like
Yeah.
still now, like I'm like, even new people that I meet, people that I meet that are like trying to do a brand, like you just never know. Like when I met Clyde, like he was my own, like the homegrown guy.
Yeah.
He was like a buyer from 1213. And just
Wow.
me being like, you know, like he was a cool dude. And then he was kind of just like, yo, I want to start my own thing. And I was like, all right, cool, let's run it. And then I would have never thought like, damn, this dude's gonna like, because right now he's kind of like just taking off. But it was
Yeah.
just me like not being so full of myself, like, oh, you want to
Right.
start a brand? All right, whatever, well, whatever, you figure it out. Like me being humble, like, you know, me being
Right.
like, you know what, like, let me help you out. Like, I'll show you the ropes, like, I'll give you. And then now it's just like we've created like a bond of like, you know, he hits me up and I know it's about work, and it's just we're both humble towards each other. Like, he doesn't think he's all that, you know, I don't think
Yeah.
I'm all that, whatever. And it's just like, just everybody, like,
Planting seeds.
you know, yeah, just
Bro,
like,
yeah, that's what it's about at the end of the day. I mean, you're doing something, you're providing them with vision as well as to how to make their dream come true, which I mean, we need more of that, especially in business where it's cutting edge. I mean, you helped support like Rhuigi's vision with Rhude and
yeah,
um Sean's vision with round two and
yeah,
seeing
no,
that take off. But I mean, eventually like serving that purpose to see your own dreams come true as well. So I mean, you told some incredible stories. What would you say is like the future for maybe 12 13 or maybe yourself and check please also, which is being slept on
yeah,
heavy.
definitely. I would say just like just continue to do what I'm doing, like because right now obviously I'm working at round two, and you know I truly like enjoy it. Like it's just like something I like to do. But
Yeah.
I would say like just the future of just like hopefully, I mean I don't know with the way the state of the world is in now, but like hopefully like getting into stores and like having stuff there, or like even on like other online shops like Essence or like just all these other places, like hopefully branching the brand out. And I would just say like collaborating with more people, because I think right now it's kind of just like you said, it's kind of like cutthroat, where it's like some people like are like, nah, this is mine. Like, I don't want to share anything. So I would
Yeah.
just like kind of collaborating with more people, so the brand can reach new audiences. And then just like same thing with check please, like just creating more stuff for people to do. And also I really want to start getting into like kind of like home decor, whether it's like making a
Oh,
pillow,
wow.
a candle, or like, you know, a clock, or like a puzzle. Like I know puzzles, I've been like on that a lot because I feel like that's the only thing. Like my mind runs 24/7. Like, so I feel like the puzzle is the only thing that makes me be like only on that. Like I don't think about anything else. So definitely I want to
Yeah.
start getting into more just like accessories kind of.
Accessories.
Yeah, um because I guess like everybody's just doing like t-shirts, and like everyone's like has their own style and taste, but it's all like kind of like the same. And also I'm like, I kind of just want to branch out and do more stuff that's like you can just have there and you can see it, and it can be like a talking piece. And it's like obviously the tees do their thing, the hats I can come up all day, but definitely just branching out, like even probably making a shoe or just
Yeah.
like doing my thing. So definitely I would say branching out into different spaces and like different like design, and then just like getting to stores, which I would hope so.
That's dope. That's
Yeah.
so cool. So
Yep.
you're maybe eventually going into the Supreme accessories. Maybe we'll see
Yeah.
the collection one day. No,
Yeah.
that's so cool, man. I saw the rug actually on. I remember when you reposted that from
Mm,
the round two YouTube video where Sean was
mm.
giving you that shout out. So that's a cool backstory. Dude, thank you. Thanks for jumping on.
Yeah, definitely.
Dude provided so much value to people that might be wanting to take that leap, like Gary V, like you said,
Yeah.
because I know like especially in the business world, it can be a lot scarier, but supporting other people's dreams is good, but then also chasing your own dreams as well. So Andy, thanks for joining the Color Cast, man. I really appreciate it.
Sure.
And all the best.
Yeah, bro. Thanks for having me, man. And like for anybody out there, just literally go do it. And it's okay to work for someone else and to get their things off, because like this lifestyle is like it's not for everybody. Like it's a lot of stress, and it's a lot of like anxiety, and like, you know, sometimes it's okay to like work for somebody else and to like help them out, because maybe that's your niche of being the whatever, like the assistant or being the creative director for this brand, and maybe that's your thing, you know, because you know. And that's what I learned a lot of. It was just
Yeah,
like sometimes like that wasn't for me, interning for someone else or helping like or like working for another brand, but I like what I'm doing now, but it's not for everybody. So even if
facts.
it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean like your life it's over. Like you can't do brand at all. You know, you can work for someone else, and maybe that's your thing. Like maybe that's what's gonna make you happy. You know, you don't have to do what I'm doing, or you know, like with you, like you're doing a podcast. Like
For sure.
like that's dope. Like I know I wouldn't like this was literally the first time I kind of like hopped on a Zoom, because I haven't done Zoom this whole time. So I was
Wow.
even, how do I work? And then my girl had to help me, like, oh, this is how you do it. So it's like, that's not for me. You know, like there's so much stuff I'm not good at. I
Yeah.
just focus on my strengths, and like I just triple down on what I'm good at. And then what I'm not good at, I ask for help from people. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
humility, bro.
yeah,
It's humility. It's delegation too. It's being a business owner, and it's
yeah,
having that circle around you of people that are going to be there to support your dreams, goals, and ambitions, and also having the humility to say, "Hey, I need help," or assist
yeah.
me, or whatever the case may be. And that, I mean, that's a practical like daily tool to take forever. But Andy we're gonna have his IG below, Andy underscore Lobos,
Sure,
and at 1213 LA in the description on
sure.
Spotify and YouTube every Thursday. Andy, thanks for jumping on, bro.
Cool. Thank you, bro. Have a good one.